Foggy Hollow, a quaint town nestled in the Appalachian Mountains, had been plagued by a chilling mystery for centuries. The phantom train, as per local lore, on moonless nights, an eerie whistle echoed through the valley, followed by the sight of a spectral locomotive thundering down the deserted tracks. Fascinated by the tales, amateur paranormal investigator Lucas arrived in town with an intention to document the phantom train's appearance. Lucas had always been interested in the supernatural, and the tale of the ghostly locomotive was too compelling to resist. On a moonless night, equipped with his camera and audio recording equipment, he positioned himself near the supposedly haunted railway track. As the night deepened and fog rolled in, and a bone-chilling wind swept across the deserted tracks. Just as the town clock struck midnight, he heard the distant sound of a train whistle, a mournful note echoing through the quiet town. His heart pounding, Lucas saw the spectral locomotive emerge from the fog, its ghostly lights cutting through the thick mist. Lucas tried to capture the train on his camera, but to his disbelief, the spectral train didn't appear on his screen. It was as if he was recording an empty track. Yet, right before his eyes, the phantom train was very real. Intrigued and terrified, Lucas decided to take his investigation further. He researched the town's history and discovered a tragedy that occurred over 2 centuries ago. A passenger train packed with people had derailed near Foggy Hollow, plunging into a deep ravine. There were no survivors, and the wreckage was never found. The following moonless night, Lucas returned to the tracks, this time boarding the phantom train. Inside, found the interior immaculate, as if frozen in time. Ghostly passengers, unaware of their fate, were engaged in hushed conversations. At the front of the train, he found the conductor, a spectral figure named Walker. Surprisingly aware of his phantom existence, shared the horrifying account of their tragic and how their spirits remained tied to the phantom train, endlessly repeating their final journey. Walker revealed that the only way to free the trapped spirits was to warn them of the impending derailment, but every time he tried, he would vanish, only to reappear when the journey started anew. Sympathizing with the trapped spirits, Lucas offered to help. He waited until the train approached the spot where it was supposed to derail, then mustering all his courage, he shouted a warning to the passengers. For a moment, everything stood still. The passengers turned their ghostly faces towards him, their eyes widening in realization. As the train reached the fatal spot, instead of derailing, it continued onwards, finally coming to a gentle stop at the next station. The passengers, who were at their spectral state, thanked Lucas before gradually fading away, their spirits finally finding peace. When Lucas disembarked, he found himself back in Foggy Hollow. The phantom train let out a final, triumphant whistle before disappearing into the fog, signaling the end of the haunting. His experience was dismissed as a hallucination by most, but to Lucas it was real. His encounter with the phantom train at Foggy Hollow taught him the weight of unresolved tragedy and the lengths spirits would go to find peace. It was a chilling experience that Lucas would remember for the rest of his life. His encounter with the supernatural etched into the very marrow of his being.